Hello my friends and welcome back to the Assault on Stalingard. It is episode 64. I hope that this really demonstrates to people the weakness of anti-tank guns and why I hardly ever use them. Because it's not just that they're weak to infantry. The late war ones, of course, have got enough ground defense that infantry can't hurt them. The main issue with them is they can be attacked by artillery and they won't shoot back. And, unlike artillery, you can't then use them offensively. If these were 15cm guns, we would blast these two, and then we'd clean them up. So, it's a it's an ongoing issue that anti-tank guns just don't have the capacity for annihilation like artillery does. 1 for 4, 1 for 3. I don't want this to take too much more damage, though we've got plenty of turns to repair it. Wait a minute, this is a Porsche Tiger? I never changed it? Why? I'm a fool. I should have set these to be Tiger 1s. Because the whole point was that they would, they would self-repair and they're a superior vehicle. But they're actually... Okay, well, I don't really have to worry about repairing them, do I? Because who cares? The whole point was to use Tiger 1s or Panthers on the self-repairing ones because they're self-repairing, so I wouldn't lose precious prototypes. Let's go ahead and swap these two. Oh, would you look at that? Exhibit A defended by Exhibit B. Can you get over there? Yes. But could you then escape? Maybe. I'm going to say yes. Just move that out of the way. This is road, by the way. That's why that move was possible. In case you were thinking, why don't you just shuffle that one forward? Oh, it's so hard to tell. Okay, we have 8 all-terrain. Two points for all-terrain. 2, 4, 5, 6. In theory, it should be able to get back. Not today. Countryside. Tracked, 1 point. Do I give chase to try and kill it? Does not seem wise. I kind of wanted to repair this. The snow will continue for a while. Yeah, because the last thing I wanted was some unit to just go flying in here, but to be fair, it would have to go like down here and then up. I am slightly overextended. Okay, it's fine. We'll be okay like this. Okay. Some easy work for my reconnaissance teams. Ah! Gotta change that mouse. I couldn't find my... I think I looked for it the other day. I can't find my spare mouse. I bought a spare mouse. So I'll have to go and find it. It must be around somewhere. To replace my currently dying one. I can even, like, feel that the right click is slightly more depressed than it should be. It's teetering on the edge of being alive. You don't want to go over there and kill that? We could. We would be leaving ourselves a little bit exposed, though. Or would we? Actually, we wouldn't. Let's just go ahead and kill this. It's kind of spotting. I don't appreciate it being in my face. We'll just stick this in the middle. Shuffle this back one tile. Shuffle this here. There we go. Wall complete. Only have to worry about infantry, but I don't know where the Russian infantry is. I just know that it's not here. He says, then he finds some. Okay, well. It won't be able to get close enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've got enough movement here to get in and get out. Should do. That's it. That's exactly what the recon cars were brought along for. That. To just drive up, get a quick, cheap shot in on the infantry, and then drive away again. I don't think the Russians brought along a lot of artillery. So the loss of these artillery is, you know, this was the main thing that I was worried about. Once again, if you're playing with 3 sets of heroes and 21cm guns, you wouldn't have to worry about it, because you just counter battery the fools. 21cm guns will eat Katyushas for breakfast. Oh, goodbye goodbye T-34-42. Ouch. You know, these 2 infantry being fully entrenched and fully repaired, that actually makes for a good defense. Okay, are they still down there? Yup. That is exactly what these were for. It's 15 strength tank, there's very little that can hurt that. Could, if I so desired it, just roll forward to here. Good kill. Let's go and sit this tank over here while it self-repairs. Position this here. Makes sense. Zone of control these tiles. Zone of control these tiles. So it's not easy to wrap around. While the snow remains, we can just sit on our hands, really. Oh, they found the rail station. Ten turns until they made it to the railway station. Ooh! Ouch! Go on, do it. Do it. Heavy weapons team will dumpster that tank. And the snow continues. 8 and 3. Perfect. So the best part about this setup, or a nuance of this setup, is that these units are capable of picking off a target and then sliding back into their original defensive positions. That's part of the strategy. So you have this capability to just roll out somewhere, have a look around, and then roll back. Obviously what these guys are looking for is infantry to prevent the assault on this. And it's the same here. We roll forward a couple of tiles. What we're looking for is infantry. Then we kill the infantry and we roll back to where we were. I shouldn't have put that tank there. I could just drive all the way over there. Not a problem. Switch this into anti-tank mode. It's not like there are any aircraft with this constant snow. Probably could have done without anti-aircraft guns on this mission, but I just didn't know whether there was going to be aircraft or not. And what I mean is, I could have done without one for the sheer purpose of being an anti-aircraft gun. But not to worry. We've taken very few losses, actually, so far. But yeah, if you're playing this to evacuate, if you're playing the historical route, then you would have spent the first 10 turns of this game pretty much just pressing the end turn button. I mean, not quite true, because you actually spawn at Stalingard, so you'd have to get down there. But getting down there wouldn't be too hard. Okay. Yellow is actually slowly becoming a hard target. I mean, this infantry, which he's repairing now, is almost all of it is now back up to full strength. It would be very difficult to remove without artillery. Yeah, I made a little deployment mistake. These self-repairing vehicles should have been Tiger 1s. That's cost me a little bit in terms of capability. So 22, 23, and 25. Actually, offensively, it's not done me any harm. It's only hurt me defensively. So, we might have taken a little bit less damage. But it doesn't matter anyway. I mean, self-repair is self-repair. All good. Okay. I mean, the position of everything is great at the moment. Doesn't look like there's going to be any further enemies. I guess themically this is an interesting mission, but playing it, it's kind of, you know... I wouldn't say it's unfun, but, you know... There's very little for you to do on this mission. And if you were playing with heroes, you might have an even better, more hands-off defense than this. Because if you're using artillery, you could just blast the enemy without actually really moving that much. I've had to play a little bit more dynamically. I'm not too worried about infantry just blundering into this because it's camouflaged. It's also fully entrenched. Although 4 entrenchments, not the hugest amount. But yeah, if you knew that you weren't going to need anti-air, then you could. It's going to be sunny next turn. If you knew that you're not going to need anti-air, then you could just put readiness on your anti-tank gun and really over-strengthen it, so it would be very difficult to kill. Right, time for you to be anti-air once again. Let's move you here. I'll just leave that tank in that tile. Should be fine. These are all protected, and this is protected by virtue of it being a very difficult to kill vehicle. We might get an airstrike this turn coming. I mean, remember, we saw all those planes. Although, frankly, I mean, it has snowed for every turn apart from like 3. So, bringing aircraft to this battle would definitely be a complete waste of time. Hey, he's repairing the tank. And that's actually a good tank, this one. 18 hard attack, 18 defense. It's not bad. Isn't this like a crappy anti-infantry tank? Yeah. Sad times. Well, it looks like the 6th Army is going to survive. There is simply not enough time left on the clock to kill them now. They're out there somewhere, those Russians. This is the thing, is they've gone for these objectives, which is all great. There's not enough time left for them to turn around and come back for these ones. You know, benefit of hindsight, this hardly gets attacked. You could probably have just put a tank here to have more forces. I mean, I didn't know what I was going to be facing, so... This is always a good combination, is an anti-tank gun with a recon car. Because the recon car is tough enough in the open tile that it could not be accosted by infantry. And then the anti-tank gun then defends it from the things that would actually put the hurt on it. You just leave yourself exposed to artillery, but they didn't really have much artillery, so... You could replace this mission with a dialogue box that's like, do you want the historical or the ahistorical route? Please choose. Maybe that's a little bit unfair. He's repairing those crappy machine gun tanks. He should finish repairing his infantry first. If it were me, and I was the yellow guy, I would have repaired the infantry first and made a wall with it in close combat tiles. Well, he's obviously not moving any of his stuff. I wouldn't have bothered trying to repair the 8.8s, they're too expensive. And then I would have repaired the anti-tank guns. Some of which are quite potent. Oh well, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just pressing the end turn button until my face melts. One thing you can do in the map editor is you can actually create asymmetric objectives for each faction. So, we have chosen our own fate, mine general. What happens now is in the hands of the gods. I suspect the fighting is not over for us yet. So I will keep the men prepared for action as best I can. Given the circumstances... ... The only forces protecting the Axis flanks with these new units were ill-equipped and under-strength Romanian formations. These units were brushed aside so quickly that the Soviet double pincer attack managed to complete an encirclement of Stalingard in mere days. The initial German reaction to this attack was extremely limited. It stemmed from a combination of believing that the exhausted 6th Army would be better off to hold their positions in Stalingrad, and that even if they were cut off, they could be continued to be supply. They could continue to be supplied from the air. Supplied from the air. Did you disobey your orders and defend the airfields, or did you obey your orders and withdraw? What, are you asking me to, like, be honest? What if I did one but did the other? What if I lie? I guess there must be some limitations that... It is weird, though. You think that you would use a token or something to figure out what the player did. You would use a token. So that mission is pointless. You could just hide in the corner. You could just sit in the corner and ignore the whole mission if you wanted to. And then just click the button at the end to decide which oh man. Oh well, whatever. In direct violation of orders and against my better judgment, we are here. Lieutenant. Lieutenant? 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 Okay. Should be lieutenant or lieutenant, depending on where you're from in the universe. Would you like to explain to General Edmon why we are still hiding in Stalingard? Sorry, Herbost, but I thought it was the only way. The only way for what? To save the 6th Army. I've done the calculations. Supply requirements for the army, distance from supply lines, and strength of Soviet forces. Hundreds of thousands will be lost. We have our orders, and if it's for the greater good for, with respect, I do not agree, which is why I asked you to stay. But if the whole 6th Army is doomed by staying, then what purpose is there in us joining them? 6th Army will stay in Stalingard on paper only, Herr Oberst. I do not think you understand how rapidly the situation has deteriorated. Every day, Field Marshal Paulus loses more and more ability to coordinate with the men that he has left. Soon they will be starving, unable to fight, and unfit to travel. Primary objective, evac 6 transports inside Western Extraction Zone. Primary objective, keep at least 6 transports alive. I have organised orders for those who are too wounded to travel to keep up the appearance that the 6th Army is still in Stalingard. But any men fit for travel have been made ready to evacuate the city, and they will break out with your forces to escort them. You have done this on your own initiative. Well, not entirely. I'm afraid for the deception to work, he will have to remain ignorant of the plan, and also remain in Stalingard, as will I. Germany will never forget your sacrifice, my friend. Godspeed. Mind General, we have an army to save. They killed him off because people didn't like him. They didn't like him. They wanted friggin' Hutman back. So, due to player feedback, the poor guy was terminated. Harsh. Okay, yellow apparently has 7 tanks. All of which are crippled. And we have his dudes, which we are honor bound to rescue. This should be much easier for us, though. Apparently it's sunny, and it's going to keep on being sunny. Okay, so I guess... Do I have control of these? Tell me I have control of these. It looks like I have control of them. What's their ground defense like? 9. That's not good. 1. That's really not good. Okay, alright, these guys are defenseless. I can disband them. Wouldn't that be funny? Just lose the mission before it even starts. Okay, alright, this should be easy. That's where we're going. Just simply have to use high-grade artillery and anti-air to protect them while we roll forward. But that shouldn't be too hard. I've got 100 slots to play with, which makes life a lot easier too. But anyway, that is really it for now. These are thoughts for a deployment episode. So, I will see you guys next time.